GPAC tournament champions a year ago. That was quite a few years in the making for the program and for yourself. What are the images that stand out for you looking back, or some of the emotions that you remember right away thinking about it?
Just a lot of hard work. A lot of people contributed to that over the years. Like you said, it didn't happen overnight. Just a lot of players over the years have helped, I think, contribute to that success through time, and just really, I think, contribute to a culture that enabled this team that year to succeed like that. But really just the emotion of just seeing the joy in the guys' faces. I really remember more their joy than I remember my joy. It was really rewarding seeing them rewarded with what they strive for, and they accomplished it, and all the hard work was worth it in their eyes.
How much different is the culture now when you look back to maybe when you played and when you first started coaching here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's changed. I think it's always been a good culture overall, but I just think the team continues to get closer and closer and spend more time together off the field. I think it's certainly more professional than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, in that you just look around and see the facilities we have and the resources we have, which I think has allowed our program just to take steps forward. But I think that the culture of these guys, together, team first. I think when we first took over, it was a culture of the world was against us, and we were fighting everybody to try and achieve success. And losing breeds losing, and winning breeds winning. And we finally got to the kind of the culture of winning breeds winning. And now the upperclassmen are instilling these things in the newcomers when they come, and it's just this great culture of passing on that level of success.
At 4-1 in the GPAC at one point last year, the team showed a lot of fight and finishing strong and putting that behind them. What does that kind of run at the end of the year do, going into the off season and going into a new year, as you kind of try to bottle that energy you had?
I think it gives promise for what we can do, and if we achieve our full potential and what we can do. I think it also shows us that we can overcome obstacles throughout a season, because I think we did that a lot last year. There were a lot of challenges, some expected, some unexpected, that we faced, and I think that it showed the guys moving forward, the returners, that we can tackle these challenges no matter what it is, how tall the mountain seems, we can get over it. So I think that we'll be better prepared to take on those really tough challenges earlier in the season.
The 2015-16 senior class was big on quantity and quality. What can you say about the legacy that they leave behind, having put together a pretty solid 4-year run?
I can't say enough, and obviously words can't express what that class has been for our program. They worked incredibly hard. They're incredibly professional, great students overall as well. And they were a big part of that run. I remember meeting with that group as freshmen, and one kid, remember at his recruiting visit, walking by our trophies, and obviously Concordia has a lot of trophies, but there weren't many for men's soccer, and didn't see anything. And he wanted to make sure that when he left, that there was a trophy in the trophy case for men's soccer. And I just think that group really had that mindset, that clear vision, both short-term and long-term, and I'm just so proud of him being able to accomplish that.
Having a lot of departures of seniors that have graduated and moved on, is there a comparable year that since you've been around that you can compare it to, and what kind of new energy does that maybe create? I'm sure it's nice. Every year is different, and there's kind of a new feeling for you as a coach too.
Yeah, you're right. You get that every year, whether you're having 2 seniors graduate or 13. Probably the most comparable year would be 2011. I think we had a decent amount of success that year as well. We just didn't finish as strong those last few games. Had a big senior class. I think we had around 8 or 9 seniors that year, heavy contributors who played a lot of minutes, were starters. So a lot of important guys that we were graduating. And it was actually that senior class is the freshman class we brought in that was now seniors that was so big. So it allows for guys to be tested right away. When you have a big senior class the next year, you probably have a lot of incoming freshmen that can be tested right away. You're right, it brings a lot of new blood and new energy, and you kind of almost have to reassemble the team and work through some of those things again in terms of getting on the same page, working through some of those challenges. So it's an exciting time to see new players, new blood come in.
At the same time, you do have some guys back, and last year was a year where you saw some people emerge that had bigger roles. Guys like Mark Horsberg, Tyler Jensen, Michael Landbauer, and Louis Rathbone. What have you liked about their development, and how key are they this season for trying to repeat some of the things you accomplished last year?
Yeah, really proud of their development. Other guys, I think all the returners developed well over this past year in the off season, and I think the thing most excited to see implemented in this fall is not only just develop technically and tactically, because they did, and physically, but really in terms of emotional, that maturity, that leadership stuff, because I think those guys all are in positions now where they're kind of the upperclassmen. They're the guys that the younger guys are going to turn to. Where before they could kind of defer that responsibility and defer that leadership to the upperclassmen. Now they're in charge of it. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, and seeing their development continue.
And Carlos Acosta is another guy who's entering his final year. I know the stats won't always show what his contributions are, but how valuable has he been to the program?
Yeah, he's been really valuable. You're right, stats, there aren't many for a central midfielder, in particular if you're more of a holding a central midfielder, and that's kind of what Carlos has played most of his career. So you do all the dirty work. It's kind of like an offensive lineman in football. There's not too many stats for you, but there's probably less for a holding midfielder actually, but they're so important. They break up play. They're the people that help build a second and third wave of attack, and really help you hold possession well. And he's been big for us. I think he's good technically. He's good on the ball. So he's good in tight spaces and can help us really build from the back. We want to be a team that can dominate through possession, and he's a guy who helps us do that.
That back line might be the spot where you really are looking for people after it was really dominated by seniors last year. Of course, some guys we might see step up in those roles, and how has that kind of progressed?
Yeah, it is not every year where you lose your whole back line due to graduation pretty much, but fortunately we had Aries Fung, who started a lot of games in the back line, will be a guy who probably contributes there. Aries also played some other positions later in the year. So we do have some experience there. Angel Alvarez also played some minutes this past year there. We've got some of the guys who got a lot of great minutes this spring with Andrew Mussel and Dylan Hickson and some of the guys like that are returners that didn't play much previously, but I think have really taken some big steps forward. And then we've got some incoming players, several defenders that are coming in that we see as guys that can impact our team immediately. So I think we'll have a good blend of newcomers that are both, some are freshmen, some are some junior college transfers in those positions, and then we've got some returners. So I think it's going to be a good combination. It'll take us time to sort through some things. When you have a group of 4 seniors that they're just all on the same page, and it's just going to take us a little while to get on the same page, but once we do, I think it's a really good group.
Marcelo Hernandez, a guy who sat out last year after transferring into Concordia. He took classes here. We know he's got talent. What can Bulldog fans expect him to provide in his first year playing here?
He's a dynamic player, so he's the type of guy that can beat someone 1v1. He's very tricky on the ball, great feints, great deception. So he's the type of guy that can at times maybe put the team on his back when something's not going well and do something. He's kind of individual brilliance every once in a while, but he's a team player. So I think he's just going to give us a cutting edge in the attack. I think he's going to help really bolster our attack, which we return the majority of our attacking players, and he's just going to make that attack even that more dynamic.
How crucial is a preseason, especially when you are trying to figure out some of those key pieces? I mean, what's one thing you really hope to accomplish once your guys get here August 12th through that until that first game?
Well, I think it's that everybody buys into our team mentality, that everybody starts to see the team more important than themselves, that they're supporting each other, that they're have each other's back, that we get to know each other. I mean, part of the preseason is about implementing the tactics you want and making sure we're fit and those sort of things, but part of it's just building team chemistry, spending time. They get a chance to eat all their meals together. We get a chance to spend time outside of the training together. So it's honestly the biggest goal is that when we start school is that the team is a team and they're ready to enter together this season, and because we just can't do it with half the team, or we can't do it with little pockets of the team.
How do you think winning the conference tournament changed the mindset of the program at all, if at all?
Well, I think that'll be yet to be determined in terms of this season. I think what we've tried to stress to them is that past success doesn't equal future success, and we've just tried to stress that we're going to have to work even harder to get to where we were last year, because we're not going to surprise people. I think that in a lot of games our opponents maybe consider us the underdogs, or we were the underdogs, and now people will be gunning for us, and I think we'll get the best of every single team we play. So I think that though we've had that level of success, the road is even harder. I think it's helped open the doors in terms of recruits and people, just really awareness into our program, even here locally in Omaha and Lincoln and surrounding communities in Nebraska. Just helped to build a better brand awareness, and I think it's that level of, we had that quality, I think, and it's finally great to see us actually achieve the things that I think we're capable of.
Do the expectations change then for 2016?
I think we approached it the exact same. I think we're going to, again, have to convince our players that we need to approach it the exact same thing, because the reality is that I think we got some guys who think that the trophy's going to be sent to us already, and this is not the case. We just approach it one game at a time. I think we have realistic goals and expectations that help push the bar forward and I guess raise the bar a little bit, but also we feel like they're attainable, and we're going to be a team that sets these realistic expectations. We go out and accomplish that, and if we do that, then we'll set new goals after that.